So I'll start off with anime, okay? Because gaming I can talk way too much about. So let's start with with anime.
Hmm.
Um, Ashwini had mentioned earlier about Centurions. Along with Centurions, there was SWAT Cats, where there was just like two mechanics in a garage, and then they make like crazy aeroplanes, machines, and they go fighting crime. Like it pisses all of the it pisses off all of the government in SWAT cats, right? They're like, "Oh, how can you do this? Like it's our job." So that is one of the um inspirations I had. Apart from that, there's a few anime. I guess it's not technically aerospace, but it does happen in space, which is Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam. And ninja robots, both of which have like these cool machines that like transform and they all like work in space. So imagining like me either being in one of those machines or me building one of those machines, right? So I had mentioned earlier innovation, right? Think about like being able to build a machine that transforms from like a machine gun, like how transformers are in the movies, but with like a person piloting it.
So basically, jetpacks and robotics combined together with a
Yeah, but
human
in
piloting the
space.
machinery,
Yeah, but in space.
but in space. Okay.
Yeah. There's a few others shows. Um, Ashwini had mentioned Armageddon, right? So there's a similar anime called Stratos 4, where like they're waiting for a comet to collide with Earth, and they go up into space to go break it up or to destroy it, something. It's been a long time since I watched those animes. There's a few more. There's a few that it's nice to imagine like a future in which humans are in space, we're colonizing other planets and stuff. So in that context, there was anime called Cowboy Bebop, where these guys are basically mercs in space, and they're going on their cool adventures and getting caught up in like politics. So yeah, those are some of the anime that impacted me. I'll get back to gaming
We
later.
should
You guys go ahead.
we should do a deeper dive into SWAT Cats because for me it was one of the most legendary cartoons I have seen as a kid. Uh, it is basically Batman meets Top Gun, but the characters are all cats. It is amazing.
And and they even go into like other dimensions.
Exactly. They have so essentially the two main characters, T-Bone and Razor, right? They are two mechanics who have been thrown out of the police academy. So they make their own renegade team. They work at a junkyard and using components from junkyard, they create their airplane, which is the Turbocat. And this is a cartoon in the 90s, has an airplane that is able to do vertical takeoff. It has scramjet speeds. It has stealth tech. It has hover modes. The missiles have grappling hooks. They have deployable mini planes. Razor has a bike that is built into the jet. It is an
They
insane
come
jet.
out from the bottom.
It comes out from the bottom. Exactly. It is like a Frankenstein monster of every cool idea that is ever there. And it works in a cartoon. Nowhere during the cartoon when I was watching it was there a suspension of disbelief. I was totally involved in this cartoon. I was like, yes, this is possible. This is definitely possible. And it's sort of like watching an F-14 and it meets this sort of Harrier, which is able to like do a vertical takeoff and landing. And some of the missiles that they have are insane. There's like the buzzsaw missile. There is a missile that throws out cement and it hardens criminals in place.
Oh,
And
they have the
there's a
necked one.
Yeah, the spider missile. It becomes a
Yeah,
net
yeah.
and it captures people. It was an amazing thing to see. And Razor he had sort of like a Batman belt sort of gadget called a Glovatrix. So you could
Did you
any tool
watch
required.
for researching this topic?
Dude, I actually went back and saw this cartoon on YouTube, and I was like, it ages so well. I watched it and I was like, okay, this is still cool. This is not something that I watched today and cringe. It is still cool. And yeah, the villains were also really cool. I remember Dark Cat being the main villain. And apart from that, my favorite villains in the show were the Metallicats, which were cyborg monsters.
Crazy. Cyborgs.
Yeah, it's insane. And the part that really ages well for me is technology that was sort of animated way back in the 90s still holds true today. We are still doing research, tech-based research in these fields. And so that is why it is an amazing watch. To anyone out there who's not watched this cartoon, watch it. It is amazing. And it
Yes.
it really shows what you can do with sort of like DIY innovation, with custom engineering, and even if you're not into any of the engineering themes of the show, it's just really cool watching cats fly an airplane and fight crime.
I guess
Our
I
avionics architect hasn't watched it.
no. Who said that? I watched my whole life that those cartoons, especially SWAT Cats, definitely in Hindi and in English, by the way. But the point is,
Yes.
the point is that I think I subconsciously forgot most of it because you grow up, but unconsciously you remember certain things when you're trying to write requirements for maintainability and stuff. Like, oh yeah, we can actually scrap this, and then so I it's not like I've not been influenced by that show. It's just that I've forgotten how I was influenced by that show. I guess that's why I'm not going into that depth of detail that you guys are going into. That's about it. It's just that I'm like, yeah, those things did exist, but that's all. That's all. I don't remember the politics or the how the origin story of theirs came about. I forgot about all that. But the F-14 like aircraft that they built, yeah, I remember that. And then the bike that comes down from his
Right, right.
seat behind, yeah, which becomes into a bike. Yeah, I do remember all that, but uh, yeah, other details, yeah, I've forgotten about those definitely.
Trust me, even right now, if you are traveling regularly, these cartoons are all available on YouTube and you can download them. So essentially, when I'm flying, this is my favorite thing to do. Just watch cartoons. I was getting into watching Centurions again, which is I was so excited about doing this episode.
Centurions, the animation is so old. The ones I saw on YouTube,
I
it's
don't even know what you
not
guys are
aged well.
talking about. What is
Okay.
Just
Centurion?
listen.
So can you explain that to somebody who is like me, who has got no clue what the heck you guys talking about?
Okay. So, Centurions, you know why the episodes are really bad? Because it's a 1980s cartoon. Okay. Basically, it's an aerospace engineering fan fiction. There are three heroes. Uh, there is a land operation specialist. I think his name is Jake Rockwell. There is a sea expert. His name is Max Ray. And there is an air operation expert. His name is Ace McLeod. These three use advanced exoframe suits, and they allow them to plug them into like modular exoframe suits, but they have to yell out power extreme before this happens. Okay, so they yell out power extreme. There is a imagine like uh, Axiom has the sort of International Space Station replicate, right? They have their own space base. These weapon upgrade exoskeleton suits are all on that uh, space base. They are lasered down to them wherever they say power extreme. And there is this really cool montage where they are in an X position with their arms and their legs out. And it's like a 360 view where arms just sort of attached to their bodies. And now they're like fully pimped out with these really cool weapons. And it increases their speed, agility, it makes them stronger. And it gives them the weapons that they require for the particular mission. And so my favorite, obviously, in this was Ace McLeod because he was this like jetpack Casanova, and he's an airborne specialist. He's got these wings that come out. He's got missiles. He's got these high altitude spacesuits, and he does just insane sort of mobility, and he's able to do these really cool maneuvers in air. And he basically embodied every fantasy I had as someone who wanted to get into aviation, because he was flying these exosuits. It's like taking these really cool aims. You can sort of say this was like a prelude to Iron Man, the movie. The comic existed way below, but way before. But the movie Iron Man, a lot of its concepts are from this cartoon called Centurions,
Centurions. Yeah.
which is really cool. And the modular design of the weapons was just like way ahead of its time. And I think even now, you can do actual engineering programs with what they had sort of animated into the show at the time.
But there's
So
a modular laptop right now.
yes, you've already got modular laptops. You've got modular electronics that have come in. So imagine having a future, and you have
Modular
exoskeletons that are
aircraft.
already
There's already
yeah, you have exoskeletons.
there's already integrated modular avionics. So just saying, we are ahead of
No,
that.
but that's at like a small level. You need to think of it as a big level. You take out the wings and you put new wings.
Basically, think of it as SpaceX plus Fortnite, where you have all of these weapons systems that come in on Fortnite. That, but you have your base in space. So yeah,
Okay. No, I do remember Centurion now. After you said Ace McCloud, I was like, oh yeah, that guy. Okay, I remember now. Okay, all right.
he had this ridiculous hairstyle,
Yeah,
which somehow never got affected by the aerodynamics around him.
yeah.
But
That's
overall,
gel,
such
dude.
a
That's
great cartoon.
gel.
Yeah, that's fair.